What's up, you guys? Episode number 3. And guess what? The title of this one, I Found Her. This girl right here. It's Anna, and I'm so excited she's going to be on the podcast today. Again, episode number 3. So excited, so grateful. Things are going awesome with it. So jump on Spotify, jump on iTunes podcast app, or you can go, obviously, if you're watching right here, you're seeing it on YouTube. So what I would ask you to do is like it, share it, forward it, pass it along to friends. Make sure you're commenting, anything you can to help just cause as much traction for this, because the goal is just to reach more people, right? And so I'm in Little Rock, North Little Rock, Arkansas, and I'm at Anna's house. So I was like, well, if I'm going to be at Anna's house, she might as well be a part of the podcast. So we were talking about what are we going to talk about today, and we're really just trying to decide kind of like what's the mission of the conversation. And I said, well, let's just talk about us, and let's talk about how we got from A to Z, or I don't think we're to Z yet, but A to C. Right?
Little plan words.
Right? And so this is where we are. And so, I guess we'll tell a little bit about our story and then maybe move into some other things. We also do business together. We do life together. We do music together. And it's just really, really an awesome, awesome thing. I'm so grateful to be, to have Anna in my life for sure. And so, so let's share a little bit about it. How did we meet?
Well, that's a great story. So I feel like you tell this story better. Do you want to start it?
Nope. I'll throw it to you.
So, enter 2020, the spring of 2020, when the entire world was thrown for a loop, and we all were dealing with the newness of COVID and not knowing what to do, and just kind of the first wave of quarantine was starting to hit. And I was actually in quarantine because my husband at the time had been diagnosed with COVID, and so I was in quarantine and isolation, and I happened to stumble upon this group called Quarantine Karaoke. And if any of you know me, I'm obsessed with singing. I love music. It is my love language, and it is my favorite hobby of all time. And so I had joined the group, which at the time...
Facebook group.
Yeah,
right?
It's a Facebook group.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I think at the time it had 700,000 members. Mm-hmm. And so I joined it, and I went live, and I was singing, and I had a blast, and I started to meet people from all across the world who were following me and hanging out with me, which was amazing, because like I said, I was in isolation. It was my birthday month. Like, I was literally in isolation for my birthday that year, and all of my new friends on Quarantine Karaoke threw me a fun Zoom party, and it was just this way of connecting with people. And I'm going to throw it back to you because you found me.
Yeah, for
right?
sure. Yeah, so I actually found Quarantine Karaoke also in, I guess, April, a couple weeks into the whole, Corona thing. I had a friend, I literally opened my phone, looked at notifications, and I remember seeing it. It was a friend of mine who, to my knowledge, does not, or at that time, did not even know I liked to sing, or that
except
music
for you
was
were
my
kind of
passion.
famous. I mean, there's
Whatever.
T-shirts made. And
Yeah, that was back in the day, though. That was way back in the day. But yeah, so this friend, to my knowledge, she doesn't know that I was super into music. But anyway, she added me to this group, never heard of it. I thought it was the most strange thing ever. And I didn't even check it out for a couple of weeks. Finally, I opened it up one day and started scrolling. And probably third or fourth person I came upon was Anna. And I said to Braxton, I was like, that girl's a diamond. That girl is a diamond. She shines bright. And so she got my attention right away. And obviously listening to her sing, I was like, oh, her talent's like super amazing talent. And then that was kind of it. I paid attention. I saw her name, paid attention to who she was, and that really was it. And then I don't know how long. I feel like it was a couple weeks later. I just had I guess I'll go on there and sing. And I hadn't sang really in years. And so I sang karaoke on there. And it was fun and it was wild. And then that's when you just happened to see me.
Well, and I think that is the true irony of all of this. Like, I'm not one that scrolled watching. Like, I would go on and I would sing, but I didn't watch a ton. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit in the beginning just because I was kind of trying to figure out. Right. And neither did you, right? Mm-hmm. So, you caught one of my first lives, I think.
I guess so.
And I caught your very first live. It had to
be. If it was April, we must have definitely caught each other. I mean, I know you saw my very first one.
Yeah, so I see this guy singing in his car, and I was like, oh, he's kind of cute. But, I thought he looked like Garth Brooks. And then he sang Garth Brooks, and I was like, no way and his personality, he was talking like me. And I went, oh my gosh. And I told my mom, I'm like, Mom, there is this person who's like the male version of me. Like, it is crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
And then, so then what started happening is the same people would watch me as would watch him. And then they would tag us and they would say, oh my gosh, Anna, you should sing with Chaz. Chaz, you should sing with Anna. Mm-hmm. And then we just kind of formed a friendship.
Yeah. So,
and tried to figure it out. Like, how can we duet?
Right, literally. And that's really how the friendship started.
Because you were in Arkansas at the time and I was in Minnesota.
You were in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. And so this would be April. Mm-hmm. And I was in Arkansas in a really interesting space in my life, to be honest. You know, I mean, I was really glad to find that group. But it wasn't, for me, same as you, I wasn't scrolling. I really didn't have a desire to like hang out on the site. It just kind of gave me a platform, a place to kind of sing. And then, and so whenever I had sang that first time, you commented a few times, and immediately, obviously, I knew who you were just because I'd already seen you. And so I think we had some dialogue. But I think we had some dialogue in that, like just through comments during that. And then people were tagging us. So then we'd be like, oh my gosh, check out Anna. And same thing, like you just said. And so I think we paid more attention to each other's like videos, like singing. And then we were like, oh my gosh, how could we duet together? How could we sing together? So we had a couple conversations. Fast forward a little bit. We had a couple conversations through probably Messenger. And then we checked out a couple different apps to see if we could sing in real time on Quarantine Karaoke virtually from two different states, right? So how could we make that merge happen? And it didn't really work out. It just didn't work out. So I guess we just figured out how to do it in real life, right? But again, a very, very honest, very innocent, cool friendship. Totally at that point about music. Also, I'm in the network marketing space, and I'm just full honesty. I was like, she'd be so good at what we do. She had no interest or desire to do that. But
and I was already in a network marketing company. Mm-hmm. So when he would talk to me about it, I was just not open to the business because I was already working a business that I really enjoyed. And so I wanted nothing to do with it. But I wanted to try his products, at least one of the products. I wasn't open to the other or the business. Mm-hmm. But then he started coaching me in some nutrition and physical activity, and so we just became really good friends, and we would walk, hold each other. Well, he held me accountable.
I had just started the Couch to 5K app and got really serious with it and started getting some killer results, and I was encouraging lots and lots of people. It was really fun. I went live all the time. I'm going to get back to that and back to doing that. But then you started doing it, and then we would hold each other accountable, literally like talk or Marco Polo or FaceTime occasionally while you were out walking, which was scary for you. It was vulnerable for you. And it had just recently been scary and vulnerable for me. So I was able to walk her through the experiences similar to what I had just had. It's a scary thing when you're not used to that. Mm-hmm. It's a physical activity and fitness is scary if it's not the norm for you. Yeah. So we created a really awesome friendship. She wasn't interested in the business side of things. We had more business conversations and she got a little more interested, right? Because you saw results. And then, she had relocated to North Dakota, and Braxton and I were like, well, let's go check out North Dakota. We honestly,
I think back up in that time, like I had already been going through the process of separating and going through a divorce. And so that's what led to me going to North Dakota for a little while. I needed a place where I could regroup and just kind of move through that process and that change. That was incredibly difficult and a long time coming. Mm-hmm. And so... Yeah,
and her family's there. She has family there that she's really close with. And so that's where you went for comfort, really. Mm-hmm. And so Braxton and I went, and just so you guys know, like, honestly, in the beginning, that was to meet an awesome friend, but also, like, we were going to, like, pursue some business ventures together. Mm-hmm. And so that was what actually took us to North Dakota. And then we ended up loving the area. Really enjoyed Anna's family, really enjoyed Anna, just clicked, truly just the coolest friendship. Mm-hmm. And the coolest part about it still to this day for me is that I was so not in a place where I was looking for, to be very frank, I wasn't even looking for new friendships. I really wasn't. I'm broken through some stuff and just had some walls up, and so it was just really interesting timing how God works. So let's talk about that. Let's move to that.
Mm-hmm.
You have all the great words because you're good at that. But for me, I would say, if there was a lesson in this message, for me, it would be really cautious and aware to not block your blessings.
Mm-hmm.
Because through all this and through the setup of what we've just told you, we ended up moving from a really awesome friendship to what has become the greatest relationship of my entire life. And it was not at all expected. It was not planned. I wasn't even remotely looking, you know, and I don't think you were by any means, you know, coming out of a relationship yourself, you know, and, so the only explanation I have for it is first of all, God is so big, you know, and the fact that I was, even though it was scary and even though there were walls, I think when you allow yourself to be open to great things that are possible, great things happen, you know.
Well, and like you talked about in, I think it was your first podcast, removing expectation, right? Letting go and just trusting the journey. For me, I was going through a time in my life where I was saying, okay, God, I need you to move in my life and in my marriage, or I need you to move me. So then it was really just, you know, prayers for clarity. And then when the clarity hit, it was, okay, God, I need strength and I need courage because I feel like you're calling me to massive change. And I can sit here and tell you that a year ago today, my life was, there's nothing in my life, not one single thing in my life that's the same today as it was a year ago. And so when we talk about massive change and vulnerability and trusting the timing in our life and trusting the process, this year has been incredible.
Yeah, excuse me, for sure. It's opened my eyes to a lot of things, to a lot of what's possible, how to do life with somebody that aligns. I think alignment has been a huge thing for both of us. And so it's awesome. And so, again, if there was a lesson, like I feel like I always want to bring value in every one of these messages, and just quick plug, if it does bring you value, please make sure you do share it with somebody that you think will find value as well. I think not blocking blessings, being open to God's timing. I share with people I feel like it's often that you know, it's like God, like all my life, I was 43 years old when Anna and I met, and so all my life through relationship, and I've had plenty of relationships, and I've hurt feelings, and I've had my feelings hurt, and I've broke hearts, and my heart's been broke, you know. So I've been through the stuff. And it just, I can't even begin to tell you how many times somebody says or pats you on the back or says to you like, oh, you know, God's got a plan or you'll find the right one. You know, I'm like, and the last thing you want to hear, especially when you're in that season, is that. You don't want to hear it. And frankly, I don't know that I believe that. And not to ever doubt God, but I certainly could doubt a friend patting me on the back trying to comfort me. That's like, well, there's bigger plans. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. It's really working out so far. You know, my average is not awesome. So again, for me, like it makes me think of my weight loss journey. I was 39 when I began my weight loss journey. And I say to people, I'm like, you know, I prayed for years for God to fix this, to heal this, to allow me strength to do this, and this. And then I was 39 when he set the reality in front of me of like, yeah, you can have a weight loss journey, you can lose weight, you can change your life. And I feel that way about this relationship. It's like, well, maybe it wasn't supposed to happen until I was 43. And then just when the timing was right and when we were, I think, probably both open to that.
Yeah, and I think ready to receive.
Yes.
You know, if we can't be in the season of being ready to receive, the gifts may come, but we are blocking them, or there's something blocking them. I think one of the pivotal moments for me was sharing with you that journal entry that I wrote like 2 years prior. Well, 3 years ago now, today. Yeah. And I had just been introduced to Rachel and Dave Hollis at that time, and I was doing the Start Today journal. And I wrote out all of these things that I wanted in my marriage, that I wanted in my life. In 10 years, I will be. And I listed out all of these different things that I wanted. And I literally looked at that paper and went, okay, God, this is nothing. Like, there's nothing on this paper that's current in my life. And that's when the prayer, that's when therapy, that's when, you know, all of the things that I could do to try to create that. And the steps towards making that happen so I could receive it started. And you had a similar experience right before you met me, and we became friends with your list.
Yeah, for sure. I wrote a list in March of things that I wanted in my life, what I wanted to attract, and there was 21 things, which was strictly 100% organic. I literally took a notepad and wrote out the things that are important to me in business and life and faith and parenting and just things that were that I wanted to attract in my life. And Anna literally met like all but 6 of those, I think. And yeah, I mean, you're just barely 6 points away from perfection, right?
Oh.
But yeah, so that was crazy as well. But again, I mean, it's only as crazy as we make it. You know, it's really it's just the coolest thing ever. So,
well, and I think that for me, one of the things that came to me, I really do believe God gave me these words, and I shared them with you. Like, Chaz, I quickly learned that Chaz was everything I had wanted, prayed for, and manifested, but never felt worthy of until now. Mm-hmm. And I think that is the part of being in a place where you can receive what you're worthy of, knowing your worth, knowing your values, willing to do whatever it takes to get to those places, mm-hmm. so that you can be blessed. Like, I had spent my whole life settling for, well, this is better than that, or, well, you can't have it all, so, you know, I might, you know, if I can't have this and this, you know, this will be good, or I would convince myself that I didn't need certain things. And so to find a partnership and a friendship and business relationship and to connect spiritually, emotionally, physically, intellectually, yeah. like on all of these different levels, yeah. It's like you really can have a well-rounded, wholehearted, fulfilling relationship.
Yeah, for sure, when you're open to receive it. For sure. When you're open to receive it. I think one of the greatest things I've learned through this is just kind of maturing in relationships, if that makes sense. Like, just really, like, I'm not going to say submitting, but just my willingness to not be wrong, but to realize maybe there's a different way, or realize, like, or even just, like, unconditional. Like, I really do, I believe that I've never been able to be completely myself. And I think when you surrender or you submit to that, I think there's so much strength in what's on the other side of that. It's when you're willing to just give it, just be you, you know, 100% authentically you. I think that is very scary, but very, very important. And speaking of scary and important, let me also say that, so fast forward again, we have now, obviously life's changed. Like, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. So Anna has relocated to Arkansas. I'm back in Oklahoma. So we both came from North Dakota back down. Anna totally relocated to this beautiful spot in North Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm 5.5 hours away in Oklahoma with my mom, and I'm kind of just doing life with her and Braxton, of course. And then we're here every couple of weeks, or Anna comes over, but it's just, you know, not far at all. And things are awesome, and life is great. And then I made a massive business move, and massive business move, and it was scary. Again, here we are, scary, right? Here we are, like, just, okay, God, right? And then we decided to do this together, which obviously, like, we were in our other business together. But the difference was, if you know anything about network marketing, Anna was in my downline. And so that was interesting dynamics for sure. And then when we decided to make this change, I knew 100% when I introduced that to Anna that she would support it. I really knew you'd support me in it. I didn't know where you would sit in it, but I knew you'd support it. And then she fully supported it because it was just a really good move to make. And but then she said, well, why don't we partner together in it? And then that wall went back up. I was like, Mom. I'm like, no, call my mom. I'm like, nope. You know, that wall, that insecurity, that doubt went in, you know, and then you just the devil attacks, you know. And but we decided to do that. And the reason was because, again, honestly, I was able to submit. I was like, okay, like, not to Anna, but to God, really. Just have faith. Like, it's fine. It's a business. It's life. We're doing life together. Why not do it together on this level strategically from a business side? It totally made more sense to partner on this. And so we have, and it's been the greatest move ever. It was, you know, it's been a few months now. It's literally been incredible. and then the note for that like is that if you when you can see each other's values and allow people to bring their strengths up and then cheer on and encourage those strengths. I have areas that I really, really excel in on the business side, and then Anna has other areas where she really excels in on the business side. So we've been able to, the partnership has been 100% thumbs up, incredible so far, and we're early in, really, and so over the next year, I think there's so many things to happen, but who knew, right? Who knew how strong that would be? And I think we've both obviously gotten better at what we do in the space that we're in. I think we've already scaled massively. I know income scales massively, and then just what's in store is huge. But also, like, seeing you rise, I think it's different when you rise for you, and then you can see that you're, again, that belief, like you said about the relationship. I think that's similar in this as well, on the business side. It's like, oh, okay, like I am capable of rocking my business. I am capable of being a boss babe, if that's what you want to do. I am capable of reaching massive amounts of people, helping people change their life. I am capable of putting money in my pocket. I am capable of sharing this with others. And so I think it's cool to see you grow in your strengths. And then it's been fun to grow in mine as well. But again, I think that's just the willingness to, I'm going to use the word submit, or to be willing to partner up, to buckle up together for the ride. And again, not blocking blessings, I mean, just like in the relationship, either of us could have absolutely figured out a reason not to make it work, and we chose to just have faith. And then I think the same thing in the business opportunity was not blocking the blessings that were in front of us and doing it together on just a very equal level playing field. And then it's allowed both of our strengths to be so much stronger,
Absolutely.
So yeah, so that's it. That's the story in a nutshell.
Say yes and figure out the rest.
Yeah, literally, guys, when we started this business, again, coming out of another network marketing space, Anna's been in other network marketing spaces. So just as she was getting everything figured out where I was as my downline, we literally make a complete jump. And, 4 years in a business where I became very fluent, and it was scary as can be to make a move, but it was so clear the move needed to be made. And I'll tell you, yeah, again, like literally we just commit and figure it out, and so wherever you're at in life, if you need to commit to something and figure it out later, I would encourage you to do that. Just like the relationship, just like the business, we literally just committed, put it in God's hands, had the faith, and I'm glad we have, so that's it. Anything else you want to say?
Thank you for letting me be on your podcast. This is
welcome.
My first podcast,
it's
so that's
honor.
awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And so I think Anna will probably have several podcasts coming up over the next year, I believe. And then we also have a podcast called Weighing In with Chaz and Anna that will start, I don't know when, maybe February, just whenever the timing's right, but we'll have where we'll just get to do life together, and we'll just kind of let you guys into our life a little bit more, maybe a little bit more personal. So keep an eye out for that to come. But yeah, so that's it. Episode number 3. I found her. Is that what I said?
Yeah.
I found
him.
I found her.
We found each other.
Let's do this. Okay, no, like there. Okay. So that's it, guys. Make sure you like, share, do whatever you want to do to get this out to more people. We're super grateful, thankful so much. What do you want to say? 5 seconds. What do you want to say? 3.
I don't know. I'm never speechless, and now I'm speechless.
All right. That's a wrap. Now, did you think of something?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to encourage you to be authentically and unapologetically you. And when you start living your life for you and you answer to you and God, it's amazing what can happen.
For sure. Totally agree. I second that. All right, guys, have a great rest of your week. Thank you so much for just your support, your friendship, your encouragement. I know we both feel it all the time, every single day. We are in such an awesome place with the relationships we've built with people. So grateful as always for that, and we will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in, listening, watching to episode number 3. See you guys.